So it's still pretty early to say that this blind chick is interested. Koharu. It's really hard to say if she actually likes the lad, Kakeru. But I think she does. It's only been episode 2. They've only known each other for like a month, as it says in the subs here. Known each other for a month. And so after this month, obviously she's blind, right? And so the question comes up, would you date a blind chick, aka a handicap? Yes, she is technically handicapped. She needs a walking stick. She needs help. She needs escorts every now and then. So I'm thinking like, is bro just not have any feelings for Koharu? It does feel like Koharu is a very positive person in general. Koharu's pretty much the ideal person. Because of how positive and how calming, how patient she is, and overall how charming and elegant she is, especially when she was playing the piano. Very elegant stuff. She's pretty much wife material. But I don't feel like Kakeru even like, you can tell he's fighting every corner, every step of the way. He's just fighting his natural instincts to even like her. Have you guys noticed that shit? He's like, oh no, we just learned this in psychology class, the rickety bridge effect. My guy, yes, there are instances where the rickety bridge does have some effect, but it's mostly because it's been building over time. You just don't, like, if you like walk with a stranger, you're not gonna have that rickety bridge per se, but it will have effect where it's like, oh, that was weird, but this isn't weird. You've known this chick, you've helped her out so many times, and given the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, she's kind, she's polite, she's soft spoken, she's very understanding. She doesn't seem to get offended, despite her being blind. Despite her not being able to see shit, she's very thankful. She's very grateful. She still wants to explore and adventure and have fun. We saw that in the cruise ship. When they went to see the historical ship next to the ocean and their school, we saw that there. You can see that she's walking in the rain, just trying to do better even as a blind person. So overall, as a just her in general, she's just impeccable as a person. If she was not blind, I don't know if she would have been any different, but I'm pretty sure if she could see and she was like the same person as we know now, she would have been like a 11 out of 10 wife material in the future. But now it's just like, even if she's blind, she does feel like a perfectly good person despite her ailments. And that's the thing. It just I don't understand Kakeru. They're both in college, right? Yeah, they're both in college. Let me see here. Oh, they're both of age. A shy freshman. Okay, so freshman in college, I'm guessing. Tends to avoid interacting with others on his own. He meets Koharu at the club welcome party he was dragged to, and he spends time with her. He finds himself drawn to her positive and cheerful personality, qualities he lacks himself. It goes to say that Kakeru at least is helpful. He's very helpful. He's taking on these tasks to help out Koharu have these experiences. Wow. Okay. Nobody. Yeah. So, just given everything we know about this blind chick, I'd say, yeah. I think I can. I've never been in a situation like that, but if the situation presented itself and everything is telling me that this chick is extremely positive, obviously she's not gonna be able to see how ugly you are, so that would be like that would be like, a godsend. She can't just see how horrendous we are. I mean, how average we are. So there's that. That reminds me of a scene in Family Guy when that one dude with the washboard face, and then the blind chick just starts touching his face, and she's like, "Oh my god, oh my god." Oh shit. But yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this dude, man. Like, yeah, she's blind. I can see why he wouldn't want to take on this huge responsibility. Um, but overall, like, pros and cons. She's like, I feel like there's more pros than there are cons. Yeah, it's just gonna be a little tiresome having to explain everything when they go out adventuring. You know, he was like looking up on Google or whatever on the internet. He's like, oh yeah, that's this, that's that. He has to just explain everything. I can see why that would get very tiring. But you'll learn how to just summarize shit. Be like, oh yeah, that's called the bow. This is that. This is this. Like this video right now. I'm just gonna cut it off because that's all I really wanted to say. Would you close your eyes? Would you date somebody like that?